Welcome at the first hackathon ever organized in Gostivar, and probably in the few cities around us. The only one that I know is in Bitola, and it's not only for high schoolers, so maybe the first hackathon ever in the country that is especially made for high schoolers. We are welcoming you, and we hope that you're going to have a great time here with us. I am Armin Musliu, for those that don't know me, and I'm the project manager, so whatever you need, whatever you want to ask, something more detailed, you have also here the UP members that are going to help you, but I'm also going to be here, so feel free to ask me on whatever issue you might have. Today, you are gathered here from more cities. We have people from Struga, we have people from Tetovo, Gostivar, and we are going to wait for the ones from Skopje to arrive. But most of you are from Gostivar. It's not that we have decided like that, but it's that mostly we had groups, teams that applied from Gostivar. And we try to make the applications open for everyone, so not depending on the gender or ethnicity or religion or whatever background they might have. We are open to everyone, and we hope that you're gonna make new friends here, you're gonna have lots of fun, you're gonna learn something more, and you're gonna have a great experience. So by the time we are done, you're gonna have something to keep in mind that you did something wonderful during this day. We hope that your success here today is gonna also motivate us so that we can organize the same thing over and over again during the years, and we can inspire more youth to become active participants and to make something interesting for their city and for their society. So today, at this time, we are starting with the hackathon. So officially from 10 a.m. we are starting. So what is Techathon? Techathon is a combination of TechUP, for those of you that know, and hackathon. Hackathon is a competition which is similar to a marathon, which takes longer, and hacking, programming. So the combination of programming, hacking, and marathon came up with the word hackathon. However, since we have our own brand with the TechUP course, we decided to make another combination of words and to put the name Techathon as a combination of TechUP and hackathon. It's going to last for full 30 hours, starting from 10 a.m. right now today up until tomorrow at 4 p.m. Then you're going to have 1 hour break to organize yourself for the final presentation, and then we're going to have the jury here, and we're going to start with the presentations. We have 51 students who initially applied, but since some of them left, we might have for the moment 49, I think, or 48. We're going to see that in the end. We have 12 groups. We're going to have 9 mentors that are going to come here and help you to discuss with them. So please make use of the mentors. They are people from diverse background. They are experts in their field, most of them, and they are coming here not to give you ideas, but to rather discuss with them. So if you have any issue that you want to ask them and you are not sure, make use of them, discuss with them, and see at what they know and what experience they have, and ask them questions regarding that. Also, we're going to have 3 jury members. Probably you already know who is going to be the jury because we posted the profile on our profile yesterday. We have the mayor and 2 other representatives from the IT sector. So tomorrow they're going to show up here and they're going to try to analyze your projects through their own perspective. So it's not just the IT part, it's also the part of the municipality. So we start now at 10, we finish at 4, and the presentations are going to be at 5. I already said this. What are the rules? You need permission to leave the YCC. So we're going to have Astrid there and some other people, and you're going to have to ask them if you need to leave the YCC. We have to know what happens with each one of you. You are high schoolers, and we have the obligation to make sure that everything is going to go fine and we're not going to have problems. We also are going to have police officers patrolling the area once in a while, and that's why we need to make sure that at least we did everything on our part. That's why please, before leaving, you have to ask for them. And only parents can take you at night. After we eat dinner at 10 p.m. until 11 p.m., if in case you want to leave, you cannot go except if your parent comes and takes you. So that's one of the rules. But in case you want to stay here, which we prefer to stay here, then it's okay. You don't need your parent, of course. You must wear the t-shirts at all times. So this is also one of the rules. In order for us to make sure that we know who is from us and who is a guest, we have to make sure that you wear the t-shirts. Because we're gonna have guests coming here and looking at what we're doing right now, and we're gonna have to identify the guests so that they can only stay for a few minutes and then leave. That's also good for you, that you're not gonna be distressed from other people, and maybe they can offend someone, or maybe they can make bad jokes or something, and we need to protect you from all those stuff. That's why you have to also wear your t-shirt so that we can identify you. Otherwise, we don't know all of you. Laptops should be used wisely because, of course, we are using them for our TechUP course and for other activities that we have. That's why, please, those that have TechUP laptops, you're going to see them on the back, they have their numbers. Please make good use of them and try to keep them safe. The YCC must be kept intact. This is not JEP's office. This is an area that we can use as an organization for having our activity here. So maybe later on, after I finish, Elton can give a short explanation of what the YCC is, so the other people that are not from here or that have come here for the first time, they can understand more about what is the idea of this area. Scoring criteria. How are you going to be scored? How are you going to be analyzed for your projects? This is something you have to keep in mind. It's maybe one of the most important stuff. Also, something interesting. How many of you checked the TechUp website last night?
No one.
No one. Great, because you had the materials and the topics, everything there since last night.
No. You didn't know. No.
I knew no one is going to check them. I was 99.9% sure. So, you had the PowerPoint presentations there, and you also have some other documents that I'm going to explain later. So, what are the scoring criteria? This is the IT part, and this is the part of the municipality. So, the two IT representatives that you saw, Vilna and Hayan, they are going to check your presentation quality, how much you have completed the solution, sensible budgeting, background research, design of the solution, programming work, and innovative aspect. So, how qualitative is your presentation? How well did you manage to present your idea? Did you manage to complete the solution, or do you just explain a few stuff and you don't go too much into detail because you didn't have enough time to do something like that? Sensible budgeting. Did you put a real good budget, or did you just put up numbers? Let's say, I explained to most of you groups like how you should do that, so I'm not going to explain it once again. Whoever was on the interview with me can explain to their friends so that they all know what it means to have a sensible budget. It's RD in your case. Then you have the background research. You have to check online for stuff. You don't just put up facts there and just say stuff that we're going to use this device and that device doesn't exist. So you make sure that you know what you're talking about. That's why you have to make a good background research. They are experts in their field, and I don't think that you can get away with, let's say, a lie or something. So please use whatever you find online, and you are definitely sure that it's true. The design of the solution, they're going to look at the design aspect as well. Like, it's not going to be the main part, but still it's one of the parts. They're going to look at how beautiful it is and how user-friendly it is. Programming work, only if you had the chance to do some programming work, you get extra points. If not, you don't get these points, but it's not up to programming. I explained it to all of you, it's not about programming, it's about the idea and making the full use of the entire idea so that you can present the full concept, not just one part. Innovative aspect, it has to be something new, not something that is already done here. So make sure that you add up, you spice it up a little bit with something from your own mind, from your own idea. That's from the IT part. From the municipality, you also have the presentation quality, but you need to see if the solution that you're offering, if the solution that you're offering is related to the problem. If you are just giving a solution that doesn't have a real problem, then it's not a solution. Okay? So make sure that you relate your solution to a specific problem. Applicable for the municipality. if what you're offering cannot be applied here at the municipality, it's also a problem. So make sure that you're not giving a governmental solution, let's say for a government or for a business company or something like that, and it doesn't have to do anything with the municipality. You have to connect it somehow to the municipality. Sensible budgeting, I already explained, is the same, and the design of the solution is the same. So these are the criteria that are going to be used by the mayor. Now, tool to use. This is where you have all the documents and the presentation. So you're going to go here at Techathon, not now. And of course, the registration period is over, but in the end, that's what we added. So you have the presentation, and you have 3 documents that you need to use for the project proposal. So, what are we going to use as a main topic for the Techathon? So, which technological solution can solve a problem that concerns the municipality of Gostivar? Now, we didn't make a more specific solution. We're going to go on some details on what stuff you can use, but because it's the first time that we organize a hackathon, I never mentioned this fact, but we are going to make it easy for you. We are not going to focus only on 3 specific issues, and you all have to work on those, but we're going to leave the floor open for all of you to be creative. We don't want to make you focus only on one part. We want you to have the full chance to be creative, innovative, and imagine something totally different from what we are thinking. That's why this is a very general topic. Now, what issues exist? Again, don't focus on these. These are just an example that you can use, but it's not a must for you to use one of these. So you have brain drain, stray dogs, public transportation, air pollution, quality education, politics, and recycling. So brain drain. Now, what is brain drain? We have a limited number of jobs available, many young people, low salaries, the quality of life. Like these are the few things that bother the youth in general, and so they decide to leave the country. What technological solution maybe you can offer so that you can influence, motivate them to stay here? But something that can be done from the municipality. Think in that sense. Stray dogs. We have diseases, hunger, lack of shelter, and lots of other problems with the stray dogs. And maybe all of these problems are applicable in other municipalities. You're going to see. So that's why we focused only on those problems. Think on how you can help through technology to solve this problem, for example. Transportation. We have many cars, few parking spots, many cabs, no public transportation, and we have lack of ecological solutions. How can we add up technology to help us tackle this issue? Air pollution. We are all burning wood, most of us. We have vehicles, factories, cigarettes, guys. So how can we help through technology to tackle this issue? Quality of education. Most of the students that have money prefer to study abroad. Not just because it's fun to go abroad, but because they don't see anything good here. So you also have the private versus public schools. Some of the private schools have much better stuff and more quality than the public schools. But it's not always the case, because we have lots of private schools, for example, that are not that qualitative, but they just sell their diplomas, right?
Yes.
So we have those kind of private schools. That's why, how can we influence something like that so that we have a better, more qualitative education? And how you can add up technology in education? Maybe you can give an idea on how we can add up technology. Because the high school and primary school is part of the municipality, so focus more on those. Don't focus on the universities. We have politics, we have corruption, nepotism, and elections. How can technology help us tackle these issues? Now, when you think on election, don't think on, we're going to make the whole system online just like in the US, for example. Because it's not part of the municipality. They cannot decide on this. But what can they decide? In Gostivar, maybe the guys from Tetovo and Struga know that we had the problem where the mayor and the council have difficulties on lots of stuff. And one of the main difficulties, which the high schoolers here know, is that they change the principals of the schools every 6 months, and sometimes even every 2-3 days, like the last time that happened. So it's a major problem. Maybe we can tackle that as an issue to provide a technological solution to the way how we choose the principles. So that's one idea, but don't focus on that one. It's just an example how you should see stuff. Don't see it as a government, see it as a municipality. And what can you offer to them? And nepotism and corruption is obvious, right? Like they can use something like that. So it's not only for the government. Recycling, something that you hear probably more often. So reusing materials, making profit, recycling or banning, what is the best? Why? Because we have side effect. Sometimes when you recycle, maybe most of the time, there is pollution. So if there is mass recycling, there is mass pollution. So you have to see where is the balance, like how much should we recycle? Or maybe there is a technological solution that can help us, rather than recycling, banning, helping people to change the way how they think and maybe just decide not to use this kind of materials and use more materials that are reusable. So think on that sense. How can technology help tackle this issue? Other issues. Don't limit yourself. Be creative and innovate. Think. You are living here in this municipality. You are living in different municipalities. You know what are the main problems. For example, we don't have a lake as Struga has, so don't think on that one. But most of the stuff are almost identical. So think what bothers you, and if you could have changed it through technology, what would you have done? And offer that as a solution, as a well-planned solution, so that maybe the mayor is going to see it and say, oh, we can use that one. We're going to publish everything online, we're going to have your presentations online and stuff, and maybe other municipalities are going to use something. You never know. Apps to use. Of course, PowerPoint is the most simple one that you can use, and at least if you're not doing anything else, at least you have to have a PowerPoint presentation by the end. But you also have Prezi, some of you maybe know it. It's an online app that you can use. It's similar to PowerPoint, but it has some more interesting effects and animations that you can use there. You can use photos, videos in your presentation, or you can just make it a slideshow. It's up to you. Paint, maybe, or Photoshop, Corel, Illustrator. One other that we have is Figma. We're going to have here Lokman Musliu. He's going to come here and demonstrate us how we can use Figma, but for now you don't need that one because it's an app online that you can use to make a demo version. For example, you make the entire design for an iPhone and you have there to change the screen size and to put different elements so that you can make your app available on an iPhone and you can show it how it looks like in an iPhone or in a tablet or in a laptop or in a huge screen. So that's what the app is good for, and that's why you don't need it right now, because you need to think right now. When you're going to come to the presentation part, when you start working on the actual implementation of the solution, you're going to have to do something with Figma if you want to. And the final one, programming. Some of you do have skills in programming. If, let's say, the solution is doable in programming, and you can do it in the 29 and a half hours that are left, then why not? Like, we are not stopping you. It's just that we believe that for 30 hours it's almost impossible for high schoolers to do a complete solution with programming. Maybe you can program only one part. That's still bonus points. But don't focus on programming if you are lacking the other parts. But if you think you can do it, feel free to do it. It gives you extra points. Now, the final presentation. It's a 3-minute presentation. So you're going to have to pitch your idea. That's how it's called. You're going to have 3 minutes and you're going to have to be very quick, very precise, very effective, efficient, so that you can have the best presentation and they don't have to ask any questions. But in case they need to ask questions, you have only 1 minute to answer. And we're going to have a timer so that you have to be precise, because the people that we have in the jury, they are extremely busy, and we're going to have to make a good use of their time. And you're going to have to make good use of their time. And in real life, you don't have 15 or 1 hour or more chance to talk with a guy that has the money and he can help you to do the solution. You usually have, it's called an elevator pitch. How long do you stay in an elevator? Usually it's not our elevators, because it doesn't take that long, but in huge buildings in the US, for example, they use the term elevator pitch because it might take, for example, like a minute or so for you to be with a millionaire next to you at the elevator. So you have 1 minute to pitch your idea. What would you say? Of course, you would go only on the main part so that you can attract his interest, so that when you step out of the elevator, he comes after you and he says, hey, can you tell me more about that? If he doesn't say that, it means the idea is not that good. Or you didn't do the presentation well. So today, if the mayor, let's say, or maybe Hayan or Vilma, if they don't ask you after the presentation, hey, can you tell us something more about that? It was a really interesting solution. You know, you can get their interest. That's why 3-minute presentation, you decide how are you going to present. Only one of you is going to step here forward and present in English, or if not, in another language, and we're going to translate. And then 1-minute question and answers. Besides that, you are going to need to work on project proposal. Maybe you saw on the website there were 3 documents. We prefer that you do it in English, but if you cannot do it, you have the 2 other languages as well available. And that's where you're going to put your idea into paper. You're going to make sure that you tackle all the stuff that you need, so that you have those stuff in the presentation as well. But you also need them on the project proposal. If, let's say, the mayor or one of the other representatives accepts your idea, they like it, they say, hey, can you tell me something more? You give the project proposal. That's our idea. That's why the project proposal needs to be sent to us before the end. We're going to tell you that tomorrow. And we're going to print them out, and you can use them to attract the interest of one of the members. Okay, so in case you want to register yourself for free courses, we have TechUP available, and I don't have to say anything more. You probably saw everything from the video. Great job, so thank you.